body produces a special kind of compound that is chemically almost identical to those compounds found in cannabis. The human body synthesizes its own cannabinoids. These special molecules are part of a biological system in your body that's present in every tissue and fluid studied so far. And this is called the endocannabinoid system. It's a biological network present throughout the brain, the immune system, and all of your vital organs. And there's thousands of peer-reviewed studies examining how this system interacts with the cannabinoids found in the cannabis plant. Yet strangely, most businesses in the cannabis industry, the clinics and the investors, operate without structured access to that scientific knowledge. And in the real world, clinicians are uncertain, founders are improvising, and executives are second-guessing. And ultimately, patients are paying the price. So today, we don't have a research shortage, we have a translational crisis. Because knowing the science exists isn't the same as knowing what to do with it. My name is Chris Tasker and I'm the founder of Global Cannabinoid Solutions, and I've worked inside research labs studying the endocannabinoid system. I've tested cannabinoids on human cancer tissue, I've worked with the clinics, I've worked with founders, and I've worked with executives and regulators leading this space. And what I kept seeing wasn't a lack of intelligence, it was decision making under scientific fog. It was intelligent people operating without a shared scientific foundation. And in cannabis, that can mean critical failure. That's reputational risk. That's regulatory exposure. That's clinical inconsistency. That's capital being deployed with an incomplete understanding. If you're a doctor, that can cost you your license. If you're a founder, it can cost you your credibility. And if you're an executive, it can cost you your investor trust. And if you're a patient, it can cost you your health and confidence in this entire sector. And at scale, that erodes the legitimacy of the cannabis industry, it weakens public trust, and slows down the entire sector. The cannabis sector isn't short on discovery. Universities and research institutions continue to generate data. What's missing is the translation. Because generating data is only half of the role of science. The other half is knowing what it means and knowing how to apply it safely. And that's the missing layer between research and decision making. And so with that being said, this is the GCS Lab, the new place where cannabinoid science moves, a governed translational layer between global cannabinoid research and real-world application. A digital laboratory where cannabinoid science becomes usable. The GCS Lab takes the rigor of a research institution, the synthesis, the critical appraisal, and the multidisciplinary perspective, and translates it into structured, usable clarity. We've turned the science into a solution and turned academia into an asset. Not theory, application. So that's what we've done for cannabinoid science. We've taken deep, complex research and we've structured it into something organizations can actually use in the real world. We've brought together cannabinoid PhDs and senior experts from across plant science, clinical medicine, biotech, pharmaceuticals, and regulation. People who've spent years, in some cases decades, at the cutting edge of this field. People who understand the biology, the plant, the medicine, the regulatory pressure, and the commercial reality. So we've unified those minds, and that collective expertise now lives inside the lab. Structured, scientifically governed, and multidisciplinary by design. The lab embeds research-grade cannabinoid intelligence into your organization, strengthening the clarity behind every clinical and commercial decision. Now consider combining your executive team's commercial instinct and the sector experience with the insight of cannabinoid PhDs embedded into their thinking. Imagine having a lab built around your leadership team, aligned to your strategy and your ambitions. What could you build? What could you avoid? How much faster would you move if you knew precisely where the scientific boundaries were? And that's what the lab enables. Not advice, structured, executive level, scientific clarity. So the good news is you can enter the lab today, you can explore it for free and see what scientific clarity actually feels like. We've made it easier than ever, so if you're a patient, you can come and strengthen your understanding. If you're a clinician, you can defend your practice properly. If you're a founder, Build on evidence, not enthusiasm. And if you're an executive, deploy capital with conviction. You can keep improvising, or you can put a digital science lab behind your business. Decades of global cannabinoid science, unified, structured, and activated. So we don't have a science deficit, we have a translational failure. But understanding this idea isn't the same as operating with it. And that's the real gap. So here's the next step. Enter the GCS lab, step into the environment, explore the structure, and see how scientific clarity actually works. The environment is now live, and we look forward to seeing you inside.